Good morning and welcome to Better Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Course. The dimensions of human knowledge are unlimited. They cover culture, religion, science, technology, education, enhancement of capabilities in any field of knowledge. And I'm amazed that we ignore most of the things which happen every day and they do cause us to ruminate, to think, to contemplate. But the reasons thereof we don't care. Now, wars are an integral part of human existence. That's undeniable. Peace is a dream, and it's not a beautiful dream. As John von Moltke, the German general, used to say, peace is not there ever. And history also shows that most of the time since evolution, the periods of war are much more than the periods of peace. And then what happens? The people who die in the war, the combatants, they are eulogized, they are praised, lot of the praise of them, so that they do not have an objection to become the tenant fodder. Some countries enhance their death, elevate it, and imparted more significance by terming is martyrdom. Indian Army doesn't do so. And some people have asked me a question, why is it that when Pakistan calls its soldiers who die on the border, or anywhere they are called martyrs, shaheed, the Urdu word. Indian Army believes that dying is a part of the normal performance of duty. It's regrettable. Any human life is loss is regrettable. But why impart it the halo of religious connotation? And this question was raised in the Indian Parliament as well. The Minister of Defence very clearly stated that the Indian Armed Forces are hesitant to use the word martyr for the personnel. They have done a great job. They have died in the line of the duty. But they cannot be called martyrs. So this raised many questions. Why? If the same soldier across the border is deemed a martyr, here we just wrap the body in a flag, sound the last bugle, and then have done with it. As a matter of fact, why and how this issue has been coming in the public is amazing. And I came to know about it and came to my knowledge way back in 1965 war. And the latest statement from that time to this time has always been that no, Indian Army traditionally has not used the word martyr, and the government actually was issued an order stopping the use of the term martyr for those who have definitely made a supreme sacrifice in the line of the duty. So what has been the stance of the government and why now? The governments, whether they have been Congress, they have been Janata, or they have been a BJP, have consistently said that the word martyr would not have any official recognition. Yes, in common day life you can call them martyrs, but as for the official parlance is concerned, and it is almost 7 decades this policy has been there. Between 2013 and 2014, RTI applications were made that the word martyrs and shaheed have not been defined anywhere with the government of India. And then the Minister of Home Affairs stated that it's not used to any of the casualties for the simple reason it has religious connotations. And such terms are also not used by CRP or Central Armed Police Forces because they do not want to give any religious importance. As a matter of fact, what's the objection to the word martyr? That's $1,000,000 question. The first is that religious connotation. If you are really secular, you should not use the word martyr for the death of the soldier. Originally, if you remember, the first time it was used as a sacrifice was during the Crusades. Sacrifices made by the people for their religious beliefs can be deemed to be martyr. And then the religious connotation is also there. The word shaheed is not a Hindu word. As a matter of fact, there is no equivalent word for martyr in Hindi. They use incorporated words. Now the word martyr was first used in Christianity in the Crusades. And the word shaheed, which is Hindustani alternative but is basically Arabic, has a religious connotation and it is linked to the concept of shahadat in Islam. Now if you use the word shaheed, you are immediately showing inclination towards shahadat. And if you use martyr, then you remember the Christian martyrs used to be there. And if you look at the Indian epics, no, there are no martyrs. Etymologically, the word martyr is said to have roots in the Greek word martu. Martu is a Greek word, and the various dictionaries define martyr as a person who voluntarily suffers death penalty as a punishment for refusing to renounce his or her religion. If you remember, nowadays Guru Tegh Bahadur's martyrdom ceremony is being there, and he is called a martyr because he refused to embrace Islam and he preferred to die rather than save his life by renouncing his faith. So it was the voluntary acceptance of death which is preferable to change the religion. And there have been instances where very young people have committed, accepted death, and their martyr is Hakikat Rai in Lahore, about 10, 12 years old. He refused to become a Muslim and he was killed. And the history of Sikhs is replete, Matidas, Bhaidas, and so on. And they were called Shaheed. But in the Sikh religion and in the Hindu religion, the word equivalent of martyr doesn't exist in the common day parlance. Now, what happens is that the armed forces of India are not associated with one single religion. And when they're fighting, they lay down their life for the sake of the country, not for the sake of their religious principles. So use of the word martyr is absolutely wrong, though it has been used in Pakistan. There, even those soldiers who are on duty, say bomb goes off and they say that he is become a martyr. No, that's not. It was not a voluntary death. They didn't choose that, okay, either you change your religion, either you become a terrorist or we'll kill you. No. It happened. They were performing the job. And the use of word for their sacrifice has accordingly been found to be wanting and not appropriate, including the top brass of the army. In 1965, a number of people said that the word martyr should be used. But the top brass didn't accept. Then in 71, General Manager very clearly said, we are laying down our lives for the sake of the country, not for the sake of our religion. And if you do it for the sake of religion, then it will cause divisions and frictions in the army. So, the retired senior officers like General Manikshah, General Karyappa, General Kenneth, and the legal experts pointed out that using the word martyr or shaheed for a soldier would be incorrect in the Indian perspective. And now, look, it's not only India. The word martyr is not used in USA, it's not used in Canada, it's not used in England. It's actually used only in very feudalistic 18th century rooted countries where the value system is still that of the hoary past, maybe of the 14th and the 15th century, but definitely not in those countries. We say, yes, these are brave people, undeniably. However, the reward may be to face death and to die. Say goodbye to the life. Knowing and accepting a profession which can result in death would be an act of bravery. But to call them martyr is absolutely wrong. Of course, what is happening is unfortunate. The government statements issued by the various public relation officers for the death of the defense services, they use the word martyr many times, shaheed, which officially is not acceptable. And many senior serving officers have used it frequently to describe the death of the soldiers in action. So the word has remained in use commonly, but as far as the official recognition is there, it's not there. And it has been used for two reasons, primarily. One is to make the soldiers feel that they are dying for a cause, whether you die for the religion or you die for the country, you are dying for a cause. But shaheed by itself, a martyr by itself, has a religious connotation, and frankly, from that point of view, even the death of people like Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad should not be deemed to be martyrdom. They should be deemed to have made a supreme sacrifice. In February 2022, this year, just a couple of months back, the army issued a letter to all its command telling them not to use the word martyr as it is not appropriate for the soldiers who die in the line of duty. So, the words used are phrases like laid down their lives, killed in action, supreme sacrifice for the nation, fallen heroes, Indian Army's brave and fallen soldiers, battle casualty, brave hearts, braves whom we lost, and then Veer Gati, the Hindi word is Veer Gati Prapat. So they got the death of a brave man. Now Veer is a brave person, Gati is death. So they got the death of a brave person, but not the martyrs, not the shaheeds. So this in fact shows one thing, that Indian Army is a composite whole of the Indians. It's not an assemblage of Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians. And that's a positive thing, because you are divorcing religion from the common occurrence. It's personal, yes, you are deputy. And the Indian regiments, Sikh regiment is there. They follow the Sikh rituals. The Rajputs follow the Rajput rituals. The Gorkhas would always have Gorkha customs and traditions. But when they make the supreme sacrifice, they are doing so as Indians, as parts of the Indian armed forces, and yes, they have died a brave death. Absolutely. They have made a supreme sacrifice. Absolutely. But they are not martyrs, not by any stretch of imagination. And if people like countries like Pakistan and others, countries rooted in the 14th, 15th century use it, that is their outlook, but it is a mistaken one. Thank you.